Since the Chinese Communist Party imposed the national security law on Hong Kong, national security has been used as a pretext to arrest pro-democracy figures, trade unionists, students, journalists, and human rights defenders. Today, according to the Hong Kong Democracy Council, there have been nearly 2,000 political prisoners in Hong Kong. Freedoms of speech, association, and assembly have been stripped away. Citizens are encouraged to report on one another, and young detainees are subjected to so-called re-education. Hong Kong has in effect been turned into a prison. Today, the former General Secretary of HKCTU Lee Cheuk-yan and human rights lawyer Chow Hang-tung face charges of inciting subversion for calling for an end to one-party dictatorship. Their case shows how the law is being weaponized to silence dissent and erase the truth of June 4 massacre. Fighting for democracy is not a crime. Release Lee Cheuk-yan, release Chow Hang-tung, release Jimmy Lai, release all political prisoners.
Belarus is a country with no freedom of association. All democratic trade unions are outlawed by the regime that suppresses its people over 30 years. Since 2020, hundreds of activists have been arrested. Over 70 trade unionists have been jailed. To this date, out of 1,000 political prisoners, there are 20 of our comrades in prison, labeled as extremists and terrorists. Among them are medical, railway, chemical and metal industry workers, students, lawyers, scientists. Social status, state of health, gender, age and number of children make no difference to the regime. Everyone is equally mistreated. Some political prisoners are released after serving their complete sentences, and some become an exchange token for the dictatorship for uplifting sanctions. They are deported abroad with no documents and social rights. The places of the released political prisoners are occupied by the newly sentenced. We demand to stop the repressions and unconditionally release all political prisoners.
Hi, my name is Nguyễn Tiến Trung. I represent the Vietnamese Independent Union, or VIU. Today, we stand at a critical junction for labor rights in Vietnam. We call upon the Vietnamese government to immediately ratify ILO Convention 87. Workers must have the fundamental rights to form and join independent unions of their own choosing, free from state interference. Freedom of association is not a privilege. It is a pillar of any just society. Furthermore, we raise our voices for Hoang Duc Binh, a dedicated labor rights activist and member of Viet Labor. Binh is currently serving an unjust 14-year prison sentence simply for defending the environment and the working class. We are deeply concerned by reports of his deteriorating health and the continued denial of proper medical care. Justice delayed is justice denied. We demand the immediate and unconditional release of Hoang Duc Binh. Respect the workers, recognize independent unions, freedom for all. Thank you.